Tolio, feeling the weight of 4 adversaries pressing down on him, calmly assesses the situation. He confides in Eren that the group is a tad cumbersome, prompting him to strategize. With a surge of mana coursing through him, he clenches his fists tightly and delivers a decisive blow to the very foundation beneath them. The stairs shatter, sending Eren tumbling into an unexpected separation from Ian. Meanwhile, as Isla and Karuto find themselves abruptly deposited onto the mansion's ground floor, Karuto bitterly notes Tolio's manipulation. Their disquiet is soon eclipsed by the ominous arrival of the Ratuan orcs. Karuto recognizes the menacing figures from a prior encounter at the market. Fueled by indignation, he vows to personally vanquish the orcs. With steely determination, both Isla and Karuto launch into a preemptive strike against their assailants. Returning to the upper level, Tolio stands tall, facing Ian with an air of calculated resolve. He assures Ian of his imminent attention before addressing the broader conflict below. Yet, Ian, undaunted by Tolio's display of power, offers a sobering reminder that strength alone does not guarantee victory in the heat of battle. Observing the intense exchange, Irene's concern for Prince Ian's well-being flickered momentarily across her features. Princess Ingrid, however, sought to assuage her worry with a reassurance born of familiarity. She reminded Irene of Ian's renowned prowess, revered throughout the imperial capital for his unmatched technique. Ingrid's confidence was unwavering. She had never witnessed Ian falter in combat. Ian wasted no time in demonstrating his mettle, launching a relentless strike against Tolio. Each strike carried the weight of his determination, yet Tolio met his onslaught with formidable defense. Irene and Ingrid watched in astonishment as Ian's swordsmanship unfolded before them, a display of skill that surpassed their expectations. Meanwhile, Eren's thoughts diverged from the prevailing optimism. Doubt crept into his mind, convinced that Ian was outmatched against Tolio's prowess. Amidst the clash of steel, Ian found himself in a peculiar state of detachment. He perceived Tolio's actions as mere parries, yet a sudden realization struck when Tolio pinpointed Ian's blade, rendering it immobile. Shock rippled through Irene and Ingrid as they witnessed Ian's predicament. Seizing the opportunity, Tolio moved in for the decisive strike, only to be intercepted by Eren's sudden intervention. With a swift maneuver, Eren attempted to thwart Tolio's advance, yet the agile foe evaded his attack with ease before retreating into the fray. As the battle intensified, Eren stepped forward to stand beside Ian, urging him to join forces against their formidable opponent. Tolio, taken aback by Eren's audacity, bore the evidence of a scratch inflicted by his unexpected assailant. It had been a rare occurrence for Tolio to face such resistance, prompting a contemplation of his strategy. Perhaps, Tolio mused, he should have prioritized Eren's threat over Ian's. With a calculated resolve, Tolio raised his shield, acknowledging the newfound challenge with a declaration of readiness. Both Ian and Eren were cautioned to give their utmost effort, for failure would not be tolerated. Tolio's ultimatum hung heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the stakes involved, including the safety of Irene and Ingrid. Meanwhile, on the lower level, Isla engaged in his own skirmish, swiftly dispatching a Ratuan orc before rushing to aid Eren on the second floor. However, his progress was impeded by the sudden appearance of a masked assailant. With a skillful grace, Isla evaded the masked man's initial strike, retaliating with a lightning-fast counterattack that disarmed his assailant. The masked knight, astonished by Isla's prowess, found himself at a loss in the face of his formidable strength. In the charged atmosphere, Isla's sharp perception cut through the veil of anonymity surrounding his masked opponent. Vincent, taken aback by Isla's swift recognition, was astonished that Isla could discern his identity with a mere glance. Isla's assertion revealed the keen memory of a Valva's knight, attuned to the unique aura of warriors encountered in the past. Vincent's initial shock transformed into a steely resolve as he accepted Isla's challenge. With a newfound sense of purpose, he invited Isla to engage in a serious bout, eager to settle their unresolved conflict. Without hesitation, Vincent launched himself forward, his blade meeting Isla's in a clash that reverberated with determination and intensity. Returning to the second floor, Ian confides in Eren, sharing his strategy to find a vulnerability in Tolio's defense. With conviction, Ian entrusts Eren with the crucial task of seizing the opportune moment. Eren, taken aback by Ian's unexpected proposal, remarks on the rarity of such humility from the typically confident prince. Nevertheless, Ian stands firm, recognizing Eren's superior strength and skill, evident even in their brief encounter with Tolio. Grateful for Ian's trust, Eren responds with a request for Ian's safety. Ian dismisses the concern, urging Eren to concentrate on the impending battle. Together, they charge towards Tolio, their synchronized movements a testament to their determination and unity. Meanwhile, Karuto finds himself occupied with the Ratuan orcs on the first floor, while Isla engages in a fierce duel with Vincent on the stairs. With their focus elsewhere, they remain unable to provide aid to Eren on the second floor. As Isla launches an attack against Vincent, the masked man showcases impressive agility, evading Isla's strike. In a swift countermove, Vincent retaliates with equal intensity. As tension mounted, Isla swiftly sidestepped Vincent's strike by dropping low to the ground. Capitalizing on the moment, Isla launched a counterattack from the crouched position. Yet, with astonishing agility, Vincent leaped into the air, narrowly avoiding Isla's strike and landing gracefully on the stairs. With a confident gaze, Vincent vowed not to allow Isla to proceed to the second floor. Meanwhile, on the second floor, Eren intercepted Tolio's strike with his swords. Sensing an opening, Ian moved to engage Tolio, but his strike was deflected by Tolio's shield. Now facing both Ian and Eren, Tolio taunted Eren, suggesting that their combined efforts were insufficient. Undeterred, Ian and Eren pressed forward, launching a coordinated attack. However, to their astonishment, Tolio effortlessly evaded their strikes, showcasing remarkable agility despite his imposing stature. Ian noted Tolio's surprising speed, recognizing the formidable challenge they faced. As Tolio moved to strike from behind Ian attempted to block the attack, but his sword shattered upon impact. With a smirk, Tolio declared Ian the first to fall. Turning his attention to Eren, Tolio prepared to face the next challenger. In a swift move, Ian seizes Tolio's arm, halting his impending strike towards Eren. With urgency in his voice, Ian commands Eren to capitalize on the opening. Eren, recognizing the opportunity, moves in to strike at Tolio. However, Tolio releases his sword and, with astonishing strength, hurls Ian into the air, inadvertently colliding with Eren mid-attack. Before Eren can react, Tolio swiftly strikes at his arm with his sword, sending Eren crashing into the wall. Ian, momentarily distracted by Eren's plight, finds himself vulnerable as Tolio swiftly strikes, sending him hurtling into a nearby table. Irene and Ingrid watch in shock as the two warriors are overpowered. From the stairs, Isla, witnessing Eren's downfall, is momentarily stunned. Vincent, seizing the opportunity, strikes at Isla, leaving a scratch on his face. With a stern tone, Vincent admonishes Isla for his distraction, igniting frustration within him. Meanwhile, on the second floor, Tolio relishes in his triumph, having successfully incapacitated both Eren and Ian. As Tolio looms menacingly, the women shrink back in fear, apprehensive of his formidable presence. However, to Tolio's surprise, Eren rises to his feet despite his injuries. Tolio is baffled by the resilience displayed by this mere mortal, doubting anyone's ability to withstand a direct blow from him. With a grave expression, Eren acknowledges Tolio's prowess in both skill and strength, conceding that Tolio appears to have no discernible weaknesses. Yet, with unwavering determination, Eren asserts that he has faced opponents of Tolio's caliber in the past. Tolio, intrigued, queries Eren about his claims, but Eren cryptically dismisses the notion, convinced that Tolio wouldn't comprehend the depths of his experiences. In his thoughts, Eren reflects on Tolio's strength, acknowledging it as formidable but ultimately pale in comparison to the adversary he once vanquished, the merciless Troll King, who had terrorized countless lives. Eren reminisces about his previous life, where his victory over the Troll King bestowed upon him his current immortal form. Tolio, witnessing Eren's resilience despite his supposed injuries, is taken aback. The sight of Eren effortlessly moving his supposedly injured right arm only adds to Tolio's astonishment, leaving him questioning the true extent of Eren's capabilities. Meanwhile, Ingrid turns to Irene, questioning whether there's any truth to Eren's cryptic claims. Irene, shaking her head, assures Ingrid that such events have never transpired with her brother before. Lindsay suggests they may have misunderstood, but Luna senses a shift in Eren's demeanor, pondering over the possibility of something changing within him. Returning to the duel, Tolio jests with Eren, urging him not to try to appear impressive. With relentless determination, Tolio charges at Eren with full force. Yet, Eren evades Tolio's strike with astonishing agility, sidestepping the attack effortlessly. Tolio is taken aback by Eren's nimbleness, baffled by his ability to move so swiftly despite his apparent injuries. As Eren retaliates with a strike of his own, Tolio swiftly blocks the attack with his shield before pushing Eren back. Regaining his balance, Eren is startled to find Tolio steadily advancing towards him. Unable to discern the position of Tolio's sword, hidden behind his shield, Eren prepares for an incoming strike. Anticipating Tolio's move, Eren predicts the attack from the front and swiftly dodges, narrowly avoiding Tolio's blade. Tolio launches a flurry of strikes at Eren, but to his astonishment, Eren effortlessly dodges each one. Tolio, taken aback by Eren's agility, is left bewildered by his opponent's prowess. Undeterred, Eren reminds Tolio of his earlier claim, that he has faced and defeated adversaries of Tolio's caliber in the past. In Eren's mind, he ponders the seamless coordination between Tolio's shield and sword, recognizing it as the hallmark technique of the Ratchuan swordsmanship. Ratchuan, once an ancient dwarven city perched upon the sea, fell to Orcish conquest decades ago, evolving into the largest orc kingdom in the empire. The orcs, blending the sturdy dwarven shields with their own throwing techniques, forged the formidable Ratchuan technique. Eren draws a parallel between this technique and the one employed by Isla in a previous encounter, solidifying his suspicions. Considering Tolio's proficiency in both northern and southern martial arts, Eren speculates on Tolio's origins. He surmises that Tolio could either be a renowned warrior from the south or perhaps even an illegitimate child of a noble, born of both Orcish and human lineage. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Tolio observes Eren with a mixture of surprise and suspicion. Eren's remarkable ability to regenerate and his adept reaction to the Ratchuan technique leaves Tolio perplexed. Tolio reflects on the devastation he wrought upon opponents using the Ratchuan technique, swiftly overpowering them with its swift and devastating strikes. Puzzled by Eren's apparent familiarity with the technique, Tolio questions whether Eren has faced it before. Tolio grapples with the notion that Eren possesses such experience against the Ratchuan technique, despite Tolio's belief in his own superiority in both strength and skill. However, Tolio senses a subtle yet distinct difference in Eren's demeanor. With Ian incapacitated, and the possibility of Eren's allies joining the fray looming, Tolio realizes the precariousness of the situation. For the sake of his father, the Sea Dragon King's ambition, Tolio knows he must swiftly neutralize Eren Pendragon. Turning his attention back to Eren, Tolio acknowledges Eren's proficiency in evasion with a wry comment. With deliberate intent, Tolio makes a beeline for Ian, prompting a shocked reaction from Eren as he watches Tolio's unexpected move towards his fallen comrade. As Tolio moves to seize Ian, the prince seizes the moment, delivering a swift punch to Tolio's eye. Before Tolio can retaliate, Eren swoops in from behind, his aura sword ablaze with power, delivering a powerful strike at Tolio with all his might. Tolio's agility proved paramount as he swiftly evaded Eren's strike, leaving Ian astonished at his opponent's timing. Undeterred, Eren attempts to immobilize Tolio with an arm lock, employing a technique similar to what Tolio used on Ian. However, to Tolio's disbelief, Eren successfully applies the hold, surprising both himself and Tolio. Meanwhile, on the stairs, Isla and Vincent engage in a fierce battle. With a powerful strike, Isla shatters Vincent's sword, prompting him to realize the limitations of his weapon in direct combat. Vincent attempts to conceal a tattoo on his arm, but Isla keenly spots it. Suddenly, a distant scream pierces the air, leaving Vincent shocked at the thought of Eren Pendragon besting Tolio. Conversely, Isla is filled with excitement at the news. Descending to the first floor, Karuto stands victorious over the defeated Ratuan orcs, leaving Vincent stunned by the unexpected outcome of the battle. Vincent's mind races with uncertainty as he observes the unfolding chaos. With a sense of unease creeping in, he makes the decision to retreat, leaving the scene behind. Meanwhile, Isla wastes no time, swiftly ascending to the second floor to join the fray. On the second floor, Tolio, nursing an injured arm, stands defiantly with his shield raised against Eren. Eren confidently remarks on the reversal of fortunes, frustrating Tolio. However, before the tension can escalate further, Isla and Karuto arrive on the scene, much to Eren's relief. Tolio, seizing the opportunity, hurls his shield towards Ian, but Eren intercepts it, preventing any harm. With resolve in his voice, Tolio positions himself by the nearest window, issuing a challenge to Eren for a future rematch. With a whistle, he summons a griffin, swiftly making his escape. Karuto, filled with frustration at Tolio's evasion, watches as the griffin disappears into the distance. However, Eren reassures them, revealing that he had managed to injure Tolio's right arm and eye, so Tolio won't come back for some time. Isla then shares the recent encounter with Vincent, underscoring the lingering danger they face. Karuto and Eren exchange shocked glances upon hearing Isla's revelation. Ian's mind races as he contemplates the possibility of Count Segunda orchestrating the attack beforehand. Eren acknowledges Ian's suspicion but cautions that it may not be enough to prove Count Segunda's involvement definitively. Nevertheless, he turns to Isla, seeking insight into Vincent's strength. Isla recounts their battle, emphasizing Vincent's formidable skill and noting a distinctive tower tattoo on his shoulder, leaving Eren stunned by the revelation. Meanwhile, at the Pendragon residence, Lady Selena and Mina enjoy a peaceful moment until Lady Selena's gaze is drawn to the sky, where she spots orcs riding griffins approaching their home, filling her with shock and dread. In the forest, Tolio rides his griffin, only to be confronted by Count Segunda. Frustrated, Count Segunda admonishes Tolio for his failure to not only destroy his mansion, but also for his inability to eliminate their targets. Tolio confronts Count Segunda, revealing the extent of the injuries inflicted upon Ian. With a calculated demeanor, Tolio announces his intention to utilize the witch doctor he brought from the south to complete their sinister plan. Count Segunda is taken aback by this unexpected turn of events as Tolio lays out the details of their scheme. Tolio explains that the orcs sent to kidnap Lady Selena, Eren's mother, are accompanied by the witch doctor, whose expertise lies in brainwashing and elimination. Tolio asserts that had the witch doctor been present at the mansion, dealing with Eren and Ian would have been a simple task. Count Segunda's fear grows as he realizes the magnitude of Tolio's actions. Suddenly, without warning, Tolio strikes Count Segunda, injuring his leg. Tolio justifies the action as a precautionary measure to divert suspicion away from Count Segunda. With his task accomplished, Tolio departs from the scene. Meanwhile, at the Pendragon residence, Soldrake griffins engage in a fierce battle with the invading orcs and their mounts. On the battlefield, Killian and the other Pendragon forces engage the invading orcs with impressive skill and coordination. Observing Killian's prowess, the Free Knights are in awe of his abilities. Killian himself acknowledges the effectiveness of the Crutal strength-enhancing spell, finding it both potent and sustainable. Meanwhile, Crutal has cast an enhancing spell on both the Griffins and the Pendragon forces, boosting their combat capabilities. In the depths of the forest, two knights observe the ongoing battle through a crystal sphere. The witch doctor, accompanying them, explains that the Pendragon force's success is attributed to the strengthening spell. The witch doctor confidently asserts that while there may be a master-level magician among the Pendragon forces, they pale in comparison to his own strength. The knights are stunned by the aura exuded by the witch doctor as he speaks. Using the crystal sphere, the witch doctor locates Lady Selena's position and devises a plan to capitalize on the distraction caused by the pirates to execute her kidnapping. In a tense moment, Lady Selena, accompanied by Mina, Kazal, and Tata, huddles fearfully in a room, seeking refuge from the chaos outside. Suddenly, to Lady Selena's astonishment, the thick metal door before them begins to melt away, revealing the imposing figure of the witch doctor accompanied by a few knights. With a commanding presence, the witch doctor instructs Lady Selena to step forward and accompany them. Showing courage in the face of danger, Lady Selena complies, urging the witch doctor to spare the others from harm. Using his magical ropes, the witch doctor binds Lady Selena, preparing to take her away. However, just as the knights move to escort Lady Selena, Sol emerges from the shadows with lightning speed, dispatching the knights with a single strike. The witch doctor is left dumbfounded by Sol's sudden intervention, recognizing her as something other than human. With gems adorning her forehead and wings sprouting from her back, Sol conjures a radiant sword from thin air, confirming the witch doctor's suspicions that she is the legendary White Dragon. Before the witch doctor can react, Sol swiftly incapacitates him with another decisive blow, ensuring Lady Selena's safety.